Welcome to Strange But True. Take a breath, slow down, and listen carefully. Some stories are documented, some are debated, some refuse to be explained. We tell you the stories, you decide what's true. Now, let's begin our journey. In the 9th and 10th centuries, swords were among the most valuable objects in Northern Europe. They were not common weapons, they were rare, they were expensive, they required enormous skill to make. A sword was more than a tool. It was a symbol of status, a symbol of power, a symbol of craftsmanship. Most blades of this period were made from bloomery iron. Smiths heated the metal. They hammered it repeatedly. They folded it again and again. The goal was to remove impurities. The result was usable steel, but it was uneven, sometimes brittle, often unpredictable in quality. Blades could crack, edges could fail. Many swords were strengthened with pattern welding to compensate for weak metal. Within this world of hard labor and limited technology, archaeologists later found something unusual. A small group of swords did not fit this pattern. Dozens of these blades carry the same stamped inscription. Along the fuller, in clear Roman letters, is the name, plus V, L, F, B, E, R, H, T, plus. The lettering is precise, almost too precise for its time. These swords were not found in one place. They were discovered across a wide region, in Scandinavia, along the Rhine, as far east as the Volga. Museums catalogue them today. Excavation reports list them carefully. They're accepted as genuine Viking Age artifacts. At first glance, they look like other elite swords of the era. But laboratory testing tells a different story. Metallurgists cut small samples from several blades. They analyzed the steel in modern labs. What they found did not match expectations. The metal contained higher carbon levels than typical European blades of the time. It was more uniform, more refined, less contaminated. In simple terms, the steel was far better than it should have been. Modern researchers compared it to known ancient techniques. They found it closely resembled crucible steel. That method was used centuries earlier in parts of Central Asia and the Islamic world. But there is no clear record of it being used in Viking or Frankish workshops. Some blades even show microscopic structures that suggest extremely controlled heating and cooling, something not described in medieval European texts. The inscriptions on the swords offer no answers. They do not name a smith. They do not name a workshop. They do not name a place of origin. Excavation records place these blades firmly in the 9th and 10th centuries. They were not buried later. They were not misdated. Their archaeological layers match other Viking Age objects. Their context is consistent. Their history is clear. In other words, the swords are exactly where the record says they should be. The problem lies in their steel. According to surviving technical writings from the time, European smiths should not have been able to make metal of this quality. Halfway through the story, the contradiction becomes impossible to ignore. A culture with no documented crucible steel production somehow possessed blades that appear to require it. Over the years, scholars have offered many possibilities. Some suggest long-distance trade. Others propose lost workshops. Some point to imported steel ingots. Yet the archival record does not confirm any single explanation. No medieval document describes a Viking foundry using this method. No Frankish manual explains how to make steel like this. No archaeological site has been definitively identified as the source. Even modern experiments struggle to replicate the exact qualities of these blades using period methods. This deepens the puzzle rather than resolving it. What remains certain is what the material evidence shows. Museums now display these swords with care. They are conserved, they are studied, they are treated as authentic. At the same time, they remain unresolved. The artifacts challenge what we think we know about early medieval metallurgy. The record preserves both sides of the problem. A society whose known technology seems limited, and blades that appear to exceed those limits. What endures is a simple, documented fact. A weapon forged in the early medieval world contains steel of a quality that would not be common in Europe for centuries. The surviving records do not explain how that happened. History has a way of hiding the truth inside what it chooses not to explain. Inside tales, inside myths, inside legends, inside things that feel just a little off. If this story held your attention, subscribe to Strange But True, because sometimes what sounds unbelievable is exactly where the truth hides.